So that's
Hey
the desktop app.
everybody! Yeah, that is a desktop app, BB, and welcome everybody to SNATM, where we sit down, once a week, and we have a little chat about movies, new or old, good or birdemic. I'm sure one day we'll end up by getting there. Hopefully not soon. But today we're not here to talk about birdemic. We're here to finally close a chapter. For now, we'll see. How the movie goes on a franchise simply known as Mortal Kombat. I am once again joined by Mr. Tom. How are you, Tom?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good.
Long time no talk.
That movie.
There it is. There it is. So yes, we had a chance to go ahead and watch the Mortal Kombat 2021 reboot. I guess that would be the correct way of saying this. This is a reboot, right?
Yeah, I would definitely say reboot.
Okay, and there's a lot to talk about. There's been a lot of people inside the Discord, which you can always go ahead and join if you !point Discord, and join the conversation where some people have already mentioned how they feel towards the film. I have my own thoughts, and Tom has his, and we will go discuss that. But right now, we're just going to go over the quick, nitty-gritty, quick facts about the film. So obviously, Mortal Kombat 2021 is a reboot that was released by WB. I believe it was released technically on Friday, so that would have been the 23rd of April, 2021. And it was directed by Mr. Simon McQuad. I was going to call him McQuaid, but that's not what it is. McQuad, and looking at his profile, he almost looks like a cheap knockoff of Steve Merchant. But he's a relative new director to the world, because when I go to his IMDb profile, he has 2 films under his belt: The Nighttime Economy, which is a video short, and Mortal Kombat. So this is his first feature full-length film, brought to you by the studio world. You know what I mean? And
that's amazing.
As a director, I don't have much to go off of, obviously. I think that I'm curious to see what the restrictions he had for this film was, because I think for the most part, I think he did a pretty good job. I think the cinematography, especially the beginning of this fucking film, was, oh my god, that's all I could really say. That was the first 7 minutes, which they released to the public, blew my fucking mind. I don't know how you felt about that opening Hanzo stuff.
Oh, fantastic! That was so good. And I didn't see it beforehand. I didn't know this was released. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Nothing.
Yeah, I think to drum up some extra buys for HBO Max, or obviously for the rental on the Canadian side here, they released the first 7 minutes of the film, and I saw that. I'm like, man, if this whole film's gonna be like this, holy shit, am I gonna be in for a ride? Yeah. And holy shit, was it not like that? Now, I'm not saying
we have varying opinions on this movie.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
My biggest thing, like I said, the cinematographer, which his name's Jermaine Micking, hell of a fucking name. This man has done quite a few different films, obviously. A lot. Apparently he was a cinematographer for True Detectives. I believe it looks like might have been season 1. But yeah, not a lot of major films, anything big that we would know of. Again, this is like his I think this is also like his big introduction to the mass world of filmmaking, at least for us here in North America.
Pretty.
Yes,
Detective's pretty up there.
It's up there.
That season.
But the thing is, let's just see. True Detectives. Which True Detectives was it? In 2019. So whatever that season would have been in 2019. That's what he was.
Well, that would have been the 3rd season, I guess.
Oh, okay, there you go. 3rd season with I'm gonna butcher his name. Mahershala
Ali.
Yeah, it's just I always call him Marshmallow because I can't fucking say his name.
Can you say it again?
Marshmallow. I can't fucking do it. But yeah, it's
the new Blade.
Yeah, yes, the new Blade. Yeah, holy shit, to think about that. I can't wait for them to start that. But right now we're gonna talk about some Mortal Kombat. Honestly, the cast here I know nothing about except for the gentleman who played Lord Raiden, who is I'm gonna butcher that guy's name, Tadanobu Asano. He played. He was in Thor. He was Hogan in the Thor franchise until they
that's where I knew him from.
Yeah, until they unceremoniously fucking killed him off in the third one. He had the fight scene and then he got murdered. He got murked real hard.
It was better than the rest of the Warriors 3 or whatever they were.
Well, I mean, fucking Shazam just sidewiped right away. Like there was no remorse for that poor bastard.
They had 2 seconds. At least he had got a little bit of a fight.
Yes.
Before he was slaughtered.
And I'm trying to remember. And I think, is it him? No, it's okay. But also there's another very popular actor in here. I believe it's it is. It's the gentleman who played Hanzo Hasashi, Hideyuki Sanada, which if I'm not mistaken, he's the one. Is he not the one? I think he is. Who played Ichi the Killer, if I'm not mistaken. A very popular.
So.
And I just want to make sure I don't step out of line here. Ichido, come on. Try to see if I can get this real quick. Nah. Anyways, again, an amazing actor, and then also the gentleman who played Sub-Zero. Again, that gentleman's name, Joe Teslim. Wow, super basic name. I was expecting something like the other ones, but no. But yeah, awesome job done by them. I really like his portrayal of Sub-Zero. I think that was, as Bihan, that was like the murderous prick that kind of technically goes against what the Lin Kuei wanted. But to protect their names, that's what he had to do. He felt like I think it was an awesome touch. I love fucking Hideyuki portrayal of Scorpion, especially as Hanzo at the beginning, like this mild mannered, super chill guy, and then being sent on this destructive path was, obviously made sense. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I have mixed feelings with this film because at parts. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, like this is awesome. Like I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. And then there are other times where I'm like, okay, Kano, I need you to like tone it down by 5 degrees, just like a little bit. Because like the jokes would not stop with Josh Lawson. Like, holy shit.
I loved it. Kano was great.
Like I really like the character. Like I think I love what he brought. I think it might have been just a bit too much at times. Like were moments where moments where the severity should have sat with like maybe quiet or just the music. He just comes in and like, oh yeah, fucking cunts. Like every
make you fucking hate him.
I mean, trust me, that didn't take much with this guy. It did not take much. But like, yeah, there's a couple of things in the film. Like I wasn't the biggest fan of how they just quickly introduced characters and how quickly they killed the characters. Felt really
Mortal Kombat.
But
did you watch the last 2?
Okay, look, the first one I will say that was better than this one. I think I will say that. But like, yeah, Kung Lao barely, like, he's supposed to be an important character, barely has a presence in the film. And Liu Kang, holy shit, like he is the franchise. And I love the backstory they gave him. Up until the point where it sounded like he got his name because he was like a no-name orphan. He got his name in the dragon mark from a dude who was a child molester. Is that what I was hearing? Like he was a collector of children, of like rarities, children, orphans, and like Lou just kind of like spaces out when he says that. And I was like, oh, okay, this is a really serious tone here for the fucking show. And then just
you gotta match up to what's going on in like today's society too.
Yeah, no, I got you. Like,
sex trafficking is a thing, child slavery is a thing. Like,
yeah, but just not what I was expecting from a Mortal Kombat film, and for it to be there for 2 seconds and then they just let it go. I don't know. Like I like Lord Raiden. I didn't like his glowing eyes though. I think the glowing eyes were a bit off. You know what I mean?
I thought it looked great.
I don't know.
You're just pissed that he didn't have the French accent.
No, I'm fine. Look, you know what I wanted? I wanted a little. That's what I would have wanted. If you would have given me one, sorry, I would have been fine. Okay. But no, what I'm really impressed with this film with the CG, because this film had a budget of $50 million. That's it.
That's surprising.
Yeah, like that's a little budget, and like a lot of the effects look fucking like amazing. Like Goro, they did Goro right and wrong at the same time. Goro looked great because they kept him in the dark so you could hide a lot of his imperfections.
Yeah.
They did him dirty because he was in it for like a minute. Like that's it. And like again, and also if we're gonna talk about a couple things here, I hated Cole Young. I didn't like his character. I thought his story arc was so lame and way too predictable. And the biggest thing I think I had, the biggest gripe I had with Cole was he was just a bland dude.
Yeah.
Like the story could have concentrated on Jackson Sonya finding these warriors. It could have been Liu Kang finding the warriors, or Kung Lao. Like they could have went so many different ways, but they wanted to find a way to shoehorn. I don't know, like
a franchise. They wanted to shoehorn a franchise into this.
Yes, I mean straight
that's
up.
That's why you have the son of, or not the son of Scorpion, but the descendant of Scorpion. Now it's going to continue watching him. They've already got 5 movies planned.
Yeah, when you send me that link, like confirmed, right? Like set up for contracted.
Yeah.
Because the character, the gentleman who played Joe Talisman, who played Bihan, from the article, right? He said he was set up to portray Sub-Zero again for another 5 fucking films. Like that's insane. Well, like that's putting their money down.
Well, they know they'll make it on Mortal Kombat, especially a rated R Mortal Kombat franchise. You're gonna make them money, and that was like the best part of this movie, how it went the extra mile and put tons of gore in there, like Mortal Kombat should be.
Yes. I was telling Tracy, I'm like, man, like, especially like in the first 7 minutes of the film, I was telling him like that the blood, it seems so thick and so dark. But then she's like, yeah, but it still splashes everywhere like water. I'm like, yeah, it's really fucking weird, right? Like, man, they dove into it and I was fine with it. I thought that was great. Yeah. Without going into the story yet, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I really would have liked to have seen different, but I think, funny enough, I think they just needed more time for the film to really flesh out. Like, I understand the movie. I think the movie's only an hour and 38 minutes altogether. Like, that's not counting credits. I think with credits, it makes it an hour and 50. Yeah, it does. Literally, it does. Because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at about an hour and 38 minutes is how long this film is. And it honestly, I think, should have been a 2-hour film. They could have fleshed out a little bit more of the characters.
If you did it any longer than that, people wouldn't watch, because who wants to watch a 2.5-hour Mortal Kombat movie? Maybe at number 5, if the franchise does really good, they'll do 3 hours or something like that.
And they did do something interesting that I liked here, which was they set up. This wasn't Mortal Kombat. This is the precursor to Mortal Kombat, right? So the next film, in theory, will either be the start of, or the end of the second film would be the start of Mortal Kombat, the actual tournament itself. Because this whole film, yeah, pretty much, right? Like, instead of the second one being where we're just gonna fight everyone who fucking cares, they did this now with Shang Tsung and stuff. Which again, by the way, the guy who played Shang Tsung, I believe his name is Mr. Is it Chin Han? Yeah, I liked him. I liked him as a sorcerer. I would love to have seen him do more, obviously, but. You know, you got to take what you get, right?
What he does in it, I think he did well.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. And the first time I saw him, like, that's the dude from The Dark Knight.
Yes.
His name in the character.
You're right. Yeah, he's like the money broker guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit, eh? Like, amazing cast. Just for me was certain things that I thought was a little bit underutilized. That's the best that I could say. But
hour and a half.
An hour and a half, but again, like I said, it looks great. A couple of choice situations which we're going to talk about in the film, which if you're ready, we can get into it right now.
Whenever you're ready.
All right, let's go. All right, here we go. We start off in the beginning of Mortal Kombat with a splash title screen, which I honestly was hoping that they were going to go for the classic Mortal Kombat fire through the dragon thing. They didn't, which is fine. It's fine. But what they do instead is have like some Harry Potter ass music playing, which was not the tone I was expecting at the beginning of this. I honestly thought when I heard that music, I'm like, are we like watching like? I told Tracy, this kind of sounds like old school Batman music right now. And then I'm like, but then it turns into Harry Potter music. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on right now.
It's like serene and peaceful.
Yeah, right. Which is not this film at all.
Just for the first 2 minutes when everything seems fine.
Yeah, right. We're Speaking of which, it's like literally where the film starts with. It's Hanzo with his wife and kid, picking up some water, and then fucking Hanzo's wife is like, "Yo, bitch, I need more. Get to stepping." and the little kid's like, I'm not a part of this. Fuck, I'm gonna go see baby sister who's crying in the house. Which it's to set up that this is a feudal Japan, because I think it's like 1617 or 1716 or whatever it is, and it's to set up that technically Scorpion and Sub-Zero are not of this time. They're way back old generations of fighters, and they will explain later on why they're around. Well, they explain one of them. They don't really explain the other one, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, pretty much what ends up happening is fucking as Hanzo's going around grabbing the pail of water, ninjas, because I'm pretty sure that's what the Lin Kuei are ninjas, or some kind of assassin type people, are out here trying to get together to fight and pretty much annihilate the rest of the Hasashi clan, the Shirai Ryu. And pretty much all of them are successful, and it gets to this really awkward point where, and I love what they do here, because there's a discussion that's being taken here by Bihan and Scorpion's wife and child, but Bihan's talking in Chinese, and it literally says, it's Chinese, and then when he switches to Japanese, it says Japanese. It's this nice little touch of showing that technically the Lin Kuei are not a Japanese tribe or clan of assassins or mercs, they're Chinese. And it's to set that up.
Was that always the thing?
Yes. Yeah. So technically,
I did not know that.
Yeah, technically, Lin Kuei were never meant to be like a Japanese clan. It was always a Chinese clan, and then the Shirai Ryu were a Japanese clan. And like this awesome moment where like he's trying to like politely get information from the wife and kid to like where he is, and he just does this awesome effect of like a freezing hand that shows up. And then he realizes, like, oh, well, this is what I got to do. I don't have a choice. And it's to set up that Bihan isn't Sub-Zero because he turned into a demon and he has these magical powers. They're setting up right now that they just have these abilities. That's who these people are. Like, they have these, I think they're called the Kanas, Shakanas, Rakana, I can't, something like that. And basically, it's like your fucking inner spirit, whatever you want to call it, your magic power in the whole franchise. And they do something that I did not expect them to do in here, Tom. Where while motherfucking Scorpion is out there grabbing them giant bales of water, he comes back and they actually kill not only his wife, but the kid. And I'm sitting there for a moment because like there's still that baby that got put away underneath the floor. I'm like, are they gonna fucking kill the baby? Is are they gonna? Is this the kind of? If this is a baby killing movie, I am fucking in. Let's go. Like, I want them to push that boundary. Like, fucking be those people. Turns out, well, a little down the road, we're gonna find out what happens exactly. But yeah, it's this moment, and it was like this whole opening scene is so beautifully shot and well choreographed and acted and directed, where you end up by seeing the wife and the kid frozen in place. Dead, because not only are they frozen, but you see in the back of her, and it's beautiful, beautiful framing, this like dagger spike that's shot through her and clearly went through her to the kid. They're dead and gone. Motherfucking Foot Clan appear, looking at the like Putty Patrol again with the in the background, and like it's Scorpion's like,
it is not that fucking cheesy.
no, it's not. No, it's not.
It's not Annihilation.
No, not yet. No, but what does happen is these motherfucking ninjas start coming out and fighting, and fucking Scorpion just takes them the fuck out with ease, with goddamn and the head stab in the one hit. Like he stabs you right in the head and slits his throat, and there's blood that pours out of the eye, like the mask's eyes. I was like, yeah, okay. This man understands what this franchise needs to be. All right, it's beautiful but motherfucking gory, and that was the moment I'm like, all right, this could be an amazing ride. So obviously, it ends up
my notes. Oh yeah, my notes right there were finally a gory Mortal Kombat movie. Right there. That was perfect scene for it. Start it. Show what the movie's gonna be like right in that instance.
Yeah, and then he takes out these people by making a makeshift fucking Shirai? Is that a Shirai? No. I can't remember what it's called. Shinai?
Kunai, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Kunai. Yeah. It's pretty much a kunai, yeah. That's kunai with chains. Yeah, that's a Yu-Gi-Oh reference for you kids out there. But anyways, he ends up having taking a rope and then the kunai thing, and he pretty much makes his fucking Scorpion get over here thing here. Fucking takes out those putty patrols like they're nothing, and walks all the way down to the river where he's met by fucking Bihan, and they have an awesome fight between the two of them, like back and forth, and to the point where like it could like obviously it could go either way. But the moment that really like spoke to me for like how severe this fight and the consequences are, right? It's when fucking Sub-Zero grabs him by the throat and tries or grab him by the hand and stuff and tries to freeze it. And like so now Scorpion's like, oh shit, like I can't fight this way anymore. Like close quarter might not be the best, but he doesn't have a choice. And then gets fucking gutted by his own fucking kunai across the gut, and still continues to fight. And fights more and more and more up until the point where he gets like stabbed in the shoulder, and then he's presumed dead. And you're like, all right, well that's all right. This is how Scorpion becomes Scorpion. Now he's still somehow alive in this whole fucking thing. And during the right before the fight, Sub-Zero's like, yeah, I'm doing this for the Lin Kuei. They don't ever explain, by the way, why the Lin Kuei is here, why the Lin Kuei would want him dead, or why Bihan's doing this for the Lin Kuei. I'm guessing that's something you would find out later down the road if they do a sequel, right? That's the biggest idea. Yeah. But,
or even a prequel going back to seeing how Hanzo was when he was like the world's greatest samurai.
Like that'll be very interesting to see if they decide to pull that one off. But it ends up being he's dead on the floor, and then fucking here we go. He's taking a dirt nap, but then he hears his baby cry, and he just starts like walking and crawling to it, and then finally, his down, bun out state is gone, and no one's there to revive him. No one's there to press F to pick him up. Boom! The man finally, the moment his heart stops, something just grabs him and pulls him away. You don't know what it is. You don't know what's happening. It just happens. And the moment he leaves, Raiden shows up. And it's like, what is this timing? Like, come the fuck on, man. Fucking
Raiden can't interfere.
But he picks up a baby. Raiden picks up that baby.
That's just helping a poor little kid. You want this kid to die like the rest of his fucking family, Justin?
Yes! It should have been. It should have been. But
they started it with baby killing the whole fucking movie.
Like, I better see Kano grabbing babies and just whipping them at people, okay? That's all I want to fucking see.
See Goro pick up 2 children at once and tear them in half. Like, what the fuck?
That's so good. But with that, it's the title cards show up, and you get the actual, I think it was probably the best way they could have done it is trying to explain the actual story of Mortal Kombat, which is within like a small paragraph, not even, of like 3 sentences, being like, hey, Outworlds has won 9 of the 10 realm tournaments. This is the last one. Shit's gonna go down if they lose. But then they add this prophecy thing here, where it's like the prophecy foretells, whatever it is, that someone from Hanzo's tribe will help them win. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what? Who? What? That's not lore. That's not canon. Okay, let's see where they can go with this. And then you get introduced to Vanilla Man himself, the underdog of underdogs, the Danny LaRusso of Karate Kid, but he's not as good as Danny LaRusso. You don't really feel for him, I find. He's like a one-tone actor, it feels like, in this film. Not much to go with. But the MMA fight scene here is kind of cool. Except for the fact that when they're fighting, I'm sitting there and I'm like, there's a couple issues I have with this. One, obviously this is not a sanctioned fight. 2, they would be gloves for protection. And for some reason, our man here, what's his name? Fucking, what is this guy? Cole, thank you, Cole. Yeah, Cole Young, right? That's his name? For some reason, Cole Young is the only one who has wrappings around his hands. Why? Oh, don't worry. We're going to explain that later for plot purposes. But in this fucking fight to the death, apparently, or there's not fight to the death, but the super fight here, he just has them because reasons. Whatever. whatever.
He's protecting his knuckles. He's the
yes.
smart one.
Look,
the rest of them are dumbasses.
Look, okay, I know this. You know this, but let me have it, okay? But anyways, fucking dude gets hit with an illegal knee to the head, all right, while down. Cole should have won the fight right there. That's some bull-ass shit right there. That's not, ref, you should get fined and fired, and technically, Cole should have won the fight no matter what there, all right?
Fined?
Yes.
This is like an underground boxing thing.
I mean, is it? Because they're talking about being champs and stuff, and there's a cage.
Champs of underground boxing. They still have champions.
I don't know, maybe. But watching this whole fight as Jack's looking down and watching fucking Cole get his ass kicked. And man, Cole spits out so much fucking blood out of his mouth at the end, where it's like, this man is dying. Like, he has some kind of internal rupture. Like, bring him to the fucking hospital. Holy shit. And then
I'll have a saltine and walk it off.
Pretty much, right? And then, like, immediately after that, fucking hard cut, bone worn Outworld. You get this smoke ass looking motherfucker walking down, but it's not smoke. It's beyond. It's Sub-Zero. Very toned down color wise. Not like, like when you see Scorpion down the road here, he's a lot brighter, but this man is like dark blue. And we get this exposition right away between him and Shang Tsung, talking about how they need to eliminate the rest of the champions who bear this mark on their arm, that you'll later find out what it's supposed to be. Excuse me. And it's Bihan's like, I gotta take care of him. And fucking Shang Tsung's like, you gotta do it, dog. And he's like, all right, but don't call me Bihan. My name's Sub-Zero. And Shang Tsung's like, I don't fucking care. Just go do it. Like, what? You gotta talk to me like that? Do you know who I am? Type of thing. And then from there, it's this whole moment. It's this scene after that where you're back with Cole, who gets a flashback or like a vision of a pissed off Hanzo, which apparently has happened for the first time. Doesn't talk to anyone about it. It's like, maybe I have a concussion. I think I'm seeing things. I need to go to a hospital. No, we don't do any of that shit. All right. All we know
They're naive. He's got a fucking birthmark that looks exactly like a dragon. Oh, it's just a birthmark.
What kind of explanation is that, by the way?
Perfectly formed dragon as a birthmark. No, that's just coincidence.
That's normal. No, that's just my brain. Don't worry about it. Like, what the fuck? And then I didn't know this at first, but I guess that's his daughter. I didn't know that the girl that's in the scene with him now, where he talks to the dude who kicked his ass, like, good fight, good job. She makes him a fucking bracelet. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, is this his, like, younger sister or, like, a cousin or something? Like, who the fuck is this person? And this is when I had to look up the age of the actor Louis Tan. Because it started to not make any sense to me. He was born in 1987, all right? So he's your age, okay?
Yeah.
The man is your age, so he's 34. This girl, who is his daughter, looks like she's almost 15?
I mean, it makes sense. It could.
Come on. You're telling me that this man, I mean, look, he's a good-looking man. He's in shape, so maybe, I'm a fat bastard, so I didn't get a chance like this when I was his age, all right? But you're telling me this man knocked up a girl, which I'm assuming is his wife that you see in the film, at the age of, 15, and then they have this kid? Like, come on, dude. There's no fucking way you can sell me on that, Tom. There's no way.
Magic.
That's a hell of a fucking... All right, no, unless you
look at Annihilation. Queen Sindel was 4 years older than her.
Oh, so that's okay. This makes it okay here.
That's right.
That in the human world,
they did it before.
That this dude at 13 years of age fucking banged up some 16-year-old, and then they had this kid. Come on.
Maybe he's got he developed early because he's like Hanzo's descendant.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh my god. Yeah, so no matter what, this seems really weird to me. The only way it would make sense to me is if this kid was 8 years old or 9 maybe, but she's clearly honestly 12 or 13. That's a little weird, but it doesn't matter. Fucking kid makes him a bracelet, and don't worry, you'll see that later on too. It's a strength bracelet because it's made of rope. Whatever, I don't fucking
Paracord.
care. Yeah, sure.
Paracord's strong.
Okay, all right. Strong enough to dodge, or take hits from Goro, whatever. Whatever, fuck. Anyways, we get to see Jax come up and be like, "Yo, it's a cool tattoo. It's a cool birthmark. Where'd you get that?" And it's like, why are you talking about what? Like, why are you bringing this up? No, leave me alone. And it's just like, yeah, cool. It's a birthmark. Okay, bye. And that's the end of the conversation. That's like, okay, cool. All this.
Well, you got a weird guy coming up to you to talk about your birthmark after a fight. You probably want to like just, all right, nice chat. See you later.
You know, touche. You're absolutely right. There are certain things in life that maybe it's best that we don't poke and prod with. But like, after that moment, hold on. So I just lost. My computer is restarting. But yeah, it's we're here, we're back. For some reason I lost all audio on my side where I could not hear anyone or anything on the streaming rig. It was very odd. But we're back in it now, baby. Let me get a couple like ahs in there if there's anyone still around. Yeah. There we are. Yeah, there we are. We're moving. We're grooving. Fucking, it's happening. Sorry for the weird ass delay. I don't know what happened there, but we are finally able to get back into it. But what's happening now in the story to get reacquainted? We just got introduced by Jax. Jax was talking about the tattoo or the birthmark on fucking Cole's arm. They go get some ice cream or whatever. She gets super cold and weird. I don't quite understand why. Well, you find out why. Because my motherfucking Bihan's there looking to kill anyone who bears the mark that is on Cole's arm. And they do this to make sure that the prophecy that a descendant from the Hanzo Hasashi clan doesn't stop their plans of winning the last Mortal Kombat tournament, the 10th one, to get to their victory. That's what we know. That's what's happening. And basically their nice romantic dinner with the kid gets ruined because the snowflakes happen in July, and then fucking shit goes wild. So wild.
Awesomely wild.
Yes. Again, beautiful effects for a $50 million budget. Even if there's a $100 million budget, there's some films out there that can't do what you've seen here. And basically, Jax arrives in the nick of time, tell him to get in the car and get the fuck out of there. They drive off into the sunset. The end, roll the credits. No.
As Sub-Zero rains fucking ice down on top of them.
Like ice daggers, pretty much. That's what the man's doing right there. It was fucking dope. I'm not gonna lie. That was an awesome scene to see. They end up by hiding into or going down an alley. Jax goes to this location. Fucking Sub-Zero shows up. He's like, I'm gonna fight him. You just get out of here. He's after you. They drive away, Cole and everyone else, and Jax tries to have a one-on-one fight with fucking Sub-Zero, which ends up them fighting inside of a warehouse. There's an awesome scene where he tries to shoot his gun, and you see it in the trailer, where like as the bullet leaves the chamber, Sub-Zero freezes it and freezes the gun itself too. It's kind of like a nice nod, a little tip of the hat to in Mortal Kombat, the 1995 one, where Sonya sticks her gun in Sub-Zero's face and he just freezes the tip and breaks it. It's kind of like a nice little Easter egg, you know what I mean? But
then they got the shots of the pellets coming out of the gun freezing in midair too, because it was obviously an awesome shotgun.
Yeah, no, dude, it was like whoever was behind the team for the CGI stuff. You guys like knocked it out of the park. I know I'd love to see more work from these guys. But as the fight continues, Jax proclaims he's done 6 terms or 6 tours, motherfucker. Tours. Yeah, and I'm like, all right, calm down. You're angry. I get it. You know, you emotional, you passionate. I could respect that. But the fight continues, and really, it's just Bihan's not even really trying. Like, he's pretty much toying with Jax a lot of the time, and like, it's the point where he's able to throw him around like a fucking rag doll, and the fighting is just like a bunch of fisticuffs. Like, it's just punching. And still, Jax is a muscly arm motherfucker, cannot do anything to stop him, really. And to end the fight, beautifully done. Like pure anime, punch, grabs both hands, brings him down and just freezes his arms to the point where they're like burnt and rips them off. It is so beautifully done. There's also a throat grab.
The splintering of his arms as they're freezing and cracking. Very well done. Very well done.
There's an amazing sight. And like there's 2 moments even before that where like Sub-Zero's fighting, and as he's fighting, he's just slightly putting on his moves, like for like the ice to hit. And like he grabs him by the throat and then breaks the ice on his throat so it hurts him. He grabs him by the shoulder, freezing, like rips it down. And it's like just to show like these pressure points that he's hitting with his hand, like with the cold. Such a unique style of fighting. I was expecting Jax to scream a lot more when his arms broke and fall off, but like he just goes into like pure shock, and then he fucking Sub-Zero just tosses him down, and like is the most brutal fall because he hits like rebarb and shit as he falls.
It looked like he hit his fucking head when he fell down.
It's like Jax is dead. Like, I'm sorry, there is no more Jax.
I thought that was it. They killed him off, and then somehow they would bring him back next.
Oh my god! But it ends up going to Cole. Man makes it to his house, tells his family to stay back. He's gonna go see Sonya, and quickly, I'm guessing everyone lives about 10 minutes from each other here. Like, everyone's pretty close to each other as far as like distance wise. And you get there, and like at first you think like Sonya's some kind of like fucking doomsday prepper, which technically she kind of is, but you find out that her and Jax are like ex-military or current military. They don't really specify if they still are or not, but they're held up in this room where she has like this these walls filled with information about fighters, the tournament. A lot of exposition starts dumping in here. You see a nice little note to like to Nightwolf in a picture. There's a couple other things, right? There's a couple of other there's a lot of Easter eggs here. Where like there's the old ruler of Outworld that's in there. He's in the Mortal Kombat franchise. There's pictures of like Shang Tsung and Scorpion and stuff. And you also get introduced at the same time to Kano, who's just chilling in the back, like not doing anything, just like quiet this whole time that they're talking, not interfering, nothing. Be like, new guy, like something at this point, like, can you like get me out of here? Like this I'm being held prisoner. Could have done like the like help, I'm helpless. No, just you fucking cunt, you fuck cunt, fuck Bobby shrimp, fuck cunt. Like taking the Australian and just cranking it to like a 15. You know what I mean, on the fucking scale.
A mercenary Australian scale. So I feel like you gotta up the swear words, you gotta up the cunts being said, you gotta up all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And it's at this time that Shang Tsung sends out pretty much Reptile, like his species, out from Outworld to go fight Cole and all them, because they have the markings too. And Sonya, I think it's at this point it's revealed that Sonya doesn't have a marking. So they're kind of like, it's kind of said, well, why are you doing this? Well, it's just because she's a good person type of thing. And it's like, well, why does Kano have one? He's a piece of shit. Well, I guess Jax and Sonya were tracking down a dude who had the marking on him, and Kano just so happened to slit his throat, so he gets the marking. We find out that it's transferable that way, where markings can transfer from person to person if you defeat or kill the wearer of that mark. So that's what you find out here.
I think they really delved into how it wasn't just like Sonya was just a good person trying to find all these people. I think she was kind of obsessed with the mark, and obsessed with Mortal Kombat, not really knowing a whole lot about it. And obviously, she learns more as it goes. But it's you could definitely see that she wanted it, but never got the mark.
Yeah,
they really point at that.
Yes, but it also not like she's mad or anything. It's just like she accepts that she doesn't have it, but she wants to like fight for good still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's at this time when they're having this conversation that Reptile shows up. Excuse me, maybe not that Reptile, like our Reptile that we know, but a Reptile from that clan, because I don't know what they're called, unfortunately. Invisible. So you get this fun little fight scene of them trying to figure out where the fuck they are and like shooting at a bunch of stuff. And it's at this moment where you kind of get the Kano, like the pure Kano look. I think that we're gonna get as far as we will, which is Kano has a scratch on his eye, like on his face/eye area. And at least for this film, that's as far as we go. We don't get the metal plate. We don't get none of that.
I think you'll get that later on.
If he comes back, right? Because I mean, technically Shang Tsung could own his soul, so he could just resurrect him, because like he has that power.
Pointing it more at the end, death is just another realm
Yeah.
So I think any of the characters that died in this can come back.
100%.
They really established that without not delving too far into it.
You know, they want to save that for the others, like the next episodes, the next films. But yeah, pretty much this fight then kind of ends with Kano getting untied from his chains through the acid blood that's dripping, and just starts stabbing the fucking dinosaur. Okay, this motherfucking reptile to like shreds, to the point where he just rips its fucking heart out, and you get that scene in the trailer where he's like, "Ah, fucking beauty," and it's like, I get it, you're Australian, I get it, fuck me,
and we got the Kano wins,
yeah, and like that's another thing with this franchise, or this film specifically, they dive into the cheese, but sometimes it's so like out of place that it doesn't belong in there. But nonetheless, this is not that scene. That this one's okay. I like the fact that he does that because it's Kano. Like it fits his character real nice. What I think is weird though is that he has acid blood or something akin to that. But
acid spit.
Is it just the spit? Okay, I thought it was the blood too.
I don't think he's an alien. I don't believe.
You don't think he's a xenomorph?
Reptile has that? No, he's not.
Because like it is that moment when I thought about that, I'm like, because like when Kano just punches into his gut or his chest and rips his heart out, I'm like, shouldn't that man be like his hand falling apart right now?
At first, I thought I noticed his hand dissolving a bit.
Yeah, same here, right?
Shine.
Yeah, it's just the black goo just made his hand look a lot smaller, I guess. No, I don't know, dude. I'm watching the clip. And it kind of looks like his hand in the CG world. It kind of looks like it burnt away. So I don't know if it's like a decision they decided not to go with, but they kept the shot in. I don't know. Like I don't know
that you can just have that and not carry it on.
I mean, look, the film's weird, all right. There could be glaring mistakes like that every now and then. Like everyone's gonna see, because I'm gonna pull up the scene, because I did rent the film so I can fucking like play this whenever I want. But we're gonna wait for it because I'm just waiting for the right moment. I can't skip properly. He punches into him and he pulls the heart out, and he's screaming right as the fucking thing dies. It's when he pulls it away. And he right here. Okay, there it is. I think it's probably the best scene I'm gonna get for this. And we're gonna go ahead and give me a second there, schmucks. I'm gonna set this up so we can properly. Holy shit! I forgot that was there. Oh my god. Give me a hot second. I forgot. That's my bad. We're gonna print the screen. That's actually, you know what? Maybe no, this is how we have to do it. This is exactly how we have to do it. I'm gonna have to send this to, or you know what? We'll do it this way. I'll just it's gonna look a little bit smaller, guys, so you're gonna have to like double size the screen from the stream. But we're going to transition that to over here. And you're watching my screen now. This is what it looks like. This is it right here. So again, if you're watching on stream, just enlarge the screen, but you'll see his hand just chilling there, and it looks pretty fucking small to me. That like it looks.
That's just the play on colors.
Do you think it is?
You got the dark blood on his hand makes his hand look smaller.
Okay. Yeah, but so when I first saw that, I'm like, man, that kind of does look like his hand melted, right? But yeah, I think you're right. It's just that. But at this point, they get out and they're like, "Oh, we need to go to Lord Raiden's temple." And Kano's like, "Lord Raiden's temple? I just so happen to know where that is. Why?
They used to smuggle shit through there all the time.
Sure, you know what?
Never took anything before.
Yeah, you never saw the monks or like fucking Liu Kang or Kung Lao chilling there and nothing. No, okay, cool, whatever, fine. You know what? Sure, let's go with that." And then he wasn't gonna help.
Progression.
Right. They need a reason to get there. So he's like, you know what? Well, yeah, I'll bring him there for $2 million or $3 million. They get a deal. And then Cole's like, "Do you have that kind of money to Sonya Blade?" He's like, "Fuck no." Like, no, I don't have that kind of money. But he's an idiot. Like, why would he? Don't worry about it. So we get this airplane shot, and Cole gets another fucking vision of, I think it's the dagger from Scorpion, the kunai.
Kunai.
Yeah. And, you know, they just do a random Halo drop. Just a random parachute scene from them falling out of an airplane and stuff. And
never done this before?
Yeah.
No, never jumped out of a fucking airplane by myself.
Yeah. And then we get what is now a staple in the Mortal Kombat series, mindlessly walking through a desert. This has become a staple in this fucking franchise now. All right, they're walking.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, what's that?
Kung Lao finally found someone, or Liu Kang.
Yeah, right. And like, it's just literally this. It's just this whole thing for them to like argue and fight. And Liu Kang walks down the desert, and it's super cool, and hits Kano with a fireball, and it's like, I'm not your enemy. And then, of course, this is where Kano goes full Kano. And it's like, did you just fucking hit me with a fireball out of your hands? Can we talk about that right now? Like, what the like? Now him talking as the audience, like, did he just throw a fucking fireball out of his hands? And that's like, that is Kano for the rest of the film. It's just him being like, I want superpowers. I want superpowers. Give me superpowers. And like, there is a funny moment where like Liu Kang puts his hand on fucking Kano's shoulder and he's like, let me show you the way. As he's talking, as he's saying like, let me show you the way, Kano's like, what the fuck? Like, why is he touching me? Like, he literally says that like out loud. And I'm like, yeah, okay, this is the right level that I want from this man right now.
Yeah,
but
excellent job for that.
Yeah. Their endless walking brings them to a temple where they end up by meeting Kung Lao, and Sonya is met up with Jax, who's on the table, who these monks are putting on. I don't know how they have this science, but they got little medallions on him, and they're somehow making metal arms for him. These monks,
because they were. Liu Kang was talking about how they were searching different realms to heal him, I guess.
So your theory is that these monks may or may not come from a different realm, who have this kind of like advanced technology, but that has a like archaic look to them.
I think so, and okay. I think they just kind of borrowed it from someone else. They seem to know that the different realms exist and everything, and they probably just pulled some technology from somewhere else. And
yeah,
this is what they ended up. Well, look at what ended up.
Yeah. Right, yeah, we'll get
Jack's
there.
having.
Yeah. We'll get there. And pretty much, if you're wondering where Raiden's been this whole time, well, guess what? Don't worry about it. Boom, we finally get to see Raiden again. Fucking Hogan's back, and he's like, you guys are not worthy. Like, is this what we have for Warriors? We're screwed. And it's like, dude, what? I kind of miss Christopher Lambert right now, because Christopher Lambert at least would have had a joke in there, would have like been buddy with them, you know? They have a little discourse, but Raiden right now is like, we're lost. You guys are pathetic. We're done for. It's like, you don't have confidence. Yeah, like, you don't have confidence. You're missing arms. You don't even have the fucking tattoo, and you're just a worthless piece of shit. Talking to Kano, and zaps him to the point where he gets knocked out, and he tries to do some exposition. And after he's done talking, Kano gets up and is like, all right, what are we talking about now? I was knocked out over there. Like, Jesus Christ. And it is at this moment also where, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Shang Tsung and the troops come in, just want to be like, no, we're finishing this. I don't fucking care. He's got Melina, he's got Reiko, Cabal, and Sub-Zero with him at the moment. And they're just gonna fight. They're like, we're not even gonna make it to the tournament. There's no rules apparently in this for Mortal Kombat where invader, like, you can invade someone else's realm and just kill all their fighters. Apparently that's okay. It's a gray area.
Well, it's not part of Mortal Kombat right now.
Exactly.
He's doing everything against the Elder God's ways.
Yes. But apparently that's not like breaking any rules, technically. It's not like in like the first Mortal Kombat where if you fuck with another world's fighters, you can get disqualified. Like, you can get done for, right?
Well, they made mention of that. We need to do this before the Elder Gods find out.
But apparently, Shang Tsung's like, how did you think we've won the last 9 Mortal Kombats? And it's like, are you telling? In my mind, I'm like, are the Elder Gods that fucking oblivious? They're like, man, a lot of Earthrealm's fighters, they're all dying real quick, and it's not like because of cancer or anything. They're all getting mutilated or they're getting eaten or frozen. It's kind of weird, right? Nah, don't worry about it. That's just Earthlings being funny. That's just their way of comedy. It's like, all right, I guess so. But it's at that point where they're at Raiden's temple, and Raiden puts up I will admit this part right now is a terrible looking lightning wall. Like, that looked like some fucking Halo 1 ass, fucking bubble shield ass shit that just I didn't. That's the one point I'm like, your budget is showing right now. Like, that's the only
how
time.
did you want it to look? It's supposed to be some sort of force field.
I mean, honestly, I think more lightning. Just a lot more lightning. Like, just like how like Raiden walks, he had like when he teleports, he has a lot of that lightning, just a lot of that. But again, since you want the villain and the the protagonists and the antagonists able to talk to each other. Because if it's my idea, they'd be like, I can't hear you. The lightning's too loud. What? Yeah, I can't. Are you walking away? I can't see it. These guys are really fucking rude. Like, that's what it would be, you know, at that point. So, you know, I get it. I get it.
The bad guys are rude. Oh, who would have thought?
But it's at this point now where they start doing like a mini training montage where they're trying to show the fighters that they can access the same abilities that Liu Kang and Kung Lao have. Arcanas? I think it said Arcanas. I think it's Arcanas.
That sounds about right. I was trying to write it down, but I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I kept on hearing the movie Kanas, but I believe it's Arcana. And it's the idea that it's like this inner ability of yours that will reveal itself either of a few different ways. One of them is by trial and combat, so pain. And they try to do that with Cole Young. Sony wants to step in, but Cole Young's like, sorry, lady. You can go tend to your friend if you want, but you can't help out here. You don't have a mark. And Liu Kang's like, or not Liu Kang. Cole's like, look, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. But, you know, she could hopefully train. No training. So she goes over to Jax. He's waking up with his little dangly arm. His little, like fucking Deadpool baby arms type of situation going on there. And
they're still growing.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, it's at that point where we continue this training montage, and it's just Cole getting his ass kicked a lot. Like, none of it's working. Nothing's making any sense. Kato takes a stab at it. He just gets swept by the leg like several times over. It's to the point where he does it twice to him, Liu Kang, in the montage. And then Kato's like, don't you do it again. He jumps to prepare to avoid it because like Liu Kang's going to do it. He fakes it, and as he lands, you hear Kano, oh shit, and he just sweeps him again. It's like, that's a troll move.
That's an ult for the game.
Yeah. That was a nice little
spamming and
yeah. That was funny. That's like a nice, again, the director of this film, Dennis McQuaid, I believe. I lost my notes, so I don't have them anymore. But he clearly cared for the franchise because he has a lot of these little Easter eggs in here that he allowed to like direct and put in. Like, you could clearly tell there was a lot of passion for him to have this franchise started, like, reboot.
Yeah,
start off correctly.
Did you, while we're still in Raiden's temple, did you notice the item that Kano first steals when he gets into the place? Do you know what it is?
That's from, oh my god, is it Mortal Kombat? It's not Deception or whatever. It's
10 or 11. It's the amulet of Shinnok.
Yeah.
Like that's a huge plot point in the game. I'm surprised that they just had that laying around as like a throwaway thing. Maybe it'll come back later, but
it could be, yeah. Because
I like that little Easter egg.
Yeah, no, it was really awesome. And it's during this whole montage part, this is when we get this conversation between Cole and Liu Kang, where Liu Kang is stitching up Cole because he got a scratch on his arm, and this is where he talks about how, like, you get a little bit of story behind Liu Kang, where he was adopted by, and this is nice, Master Boraicho, because he was a no-name orphan on the side of the street, and he picked him up and trained him with the Monks of Light, or whatever they're called, the Order of Light. And he got to the point where he was able to become a fighter and a respected member of society, whatever, within the Order of the Monks. But he still wasn't chosen with the tattoo. He ends up by finding someone with a fighter, apparently, with it, and took it from him. By that, we all understand Liu Kang means he killed him. Because he was a purveyor of rare antiquities, or rare things. Children. Orphans. Like Liu Kang. And as he's saying that, he's like cauterizing the stitch. And as he's talking about it, clearly you could tell that Liu Kang got a little involved with this man, because he's, again, from what we could tell, this man was a molester or something. An abuser of children, at least, for sure. And he's just like, his fire gets a little bit hotter, and you're going, like, stop, no, you're hurting now, no, please. But yeah, it's they talk about how he's gonna unlock his Arcana, and he's like, the best way of doing it is through pain. So all it is now is just like Kano, fucking Kung Lao, Liu Kang are just beating the shit out of Cole. And like, it's to the point where like Kano's like, let me give it a slap at it. Let me give it a fucking try. Just beats him to the ground super hard. He's like, oh yeah, it's not doing anything. It's not working, guys. And like kicks him again. It's like, Jesus Christ. And then yeah, it's at this point, if I'm not mistaken, Sonya and Jax are chilling. Jax is trying to punch a little like dummy, a little practice dummy with his little baby arms. It's just not working. It's not working. Dude, anything, those scenes, I highly recommend anyone to just go ahead and watch those parts, because oh my god, does it ever make me fucking laugh. It is, it's brilliant. And
then, like laughing at a wounded veteran. You're a terrible fucking person.
He's got little baby hands. Come on. But yeah, at this point, it's just like this random little pep talk, like don't feel down, whatever. Do what you told me back in the day. Fucking suck it up, Buttercup. And we get to this point where again, they're at a dinner table. Fucking Kano's like, dude, I want my powers. How am I gonna get my powers? Like, I want fireballs. I want, like, am I gonna get ice power? Like, what's going on? And it pretty much, Kung Lao and Liu Kang just start insulting the shit out of him. Like, you're never gonna get it because you're like a worthless little puppy dog who's defenseless. You're like a baby with little baby hands. You're like Jax over there, but even Jax can do stuff because his hands are metal. He's got metal baby hands. You don't even have a metal faceplate. You're useless, Kano. Shrimp on the Barbie. Fuck you, you dinosaur crocodile hunter motherfucker. Just keep going. Just keep like, these are things, by the way, you only see that if you have the subtitles. That's what they're saying to him. All right, this little tidbit.
Or was that director commentary?
Yeah, right? And like, they're just riling him up to the point where he sits up, gets real mad, and just shoots a laser beam out of his fucking eye. And I guess that's how Liu Kang and Kung Lao knew to unlock his Arcana, was through insulting and testing his worth, his like, his pride. They're attacking his pride. That's how they knew that insulting and attacking him that way would unleash that. So then when he gets like, oh my god, you guys just see that? You see that? I got a laser! I got a fucking laser eye! And he's all super happy. And he just looks at Cole like, I knew I'd get mine before yours. I got a laser eye, guys! He's all like, now pro team, let's go, motherfucker. Like, we're the best. And it just kind of continues more and more. And then you get a cut scene pretty much at this point. But you kind of get a hard cut now where Lord Raiden's like, Cole, get the fuck out of here, man. You're useless. Like, you're never gonna get your powers. You're not even a good fighter. You got your ass kicked by the Ramirez guy in a crucifix and just pounded the shit out of you, and you tapped out like a little bitch. And they were like, whoa, Raiden's getting real harsh right now. This is a little mean. But it's like, here's your portal. Go home if you want to. Go to your family. Like, we don't need you.
It was basically go home and die. Right?
Yeah, pretty much, right? It's like, you still have the mark.
Like, you're worthless. They're gonna come kill you, but just go be with your family while everyone dies.
And then let them murder your family too in front of you, and it's fine though, because you're a baby. You got little baby arms. You go at it. Get out of here, baby arms. That's the insult in the series from now on. And they really want to piss someone off, and you go, yeah, little baby arms. And then they wait
till they bring babyalities into this.
See, that's what they're hinting on with Jax with his little baby arms, little babyality.
Babyality's just gonna make everyone have baby arms. Full-size bodies, baby arms.
Yeah, and then fucking Goro comes by and crushes all the babies. Yeah, this is what we're talking about here. And so he pieces out. He's like, I'm just gonna be with my family. There's not much I can do about it. And it's here too, where Shang Tsung's like, we're done with this. We need a way to get in and fuck with the fighters before they get too strong or figure out their arcanas. And you get introduced to Cabal. The Cabal character is pretty accurate to how he is in the games, like very cocky, very like, oh, I'm a speedy boy, ba-ba-da-ba-da. And then if I'm not mistaken, Cabal is a member of, or was a member of the Black Dragon clan. I think, and I'm gonna butcher the lore here, I'm pretty sure he was the original like leader until Kano stepped in and like fucked him up.
That makes sense.
If I'm not mistaken, which is why he kind of has like a grudge against Kano. And you also get introduced, like I said, you get introduced to Reiko, Melina, Cabal, Sub-Zero, and Goro at the end, but also a character that I don't remember if she actually is. Natara. Is she a part? Was she in the franchise?
I looked her up after the movie because I had to figure out where she was from, and apparently she was in some of the games, but she was a vampire, I guess.
Oh, okay. I think I know who that is. I think I'm like, yeah. I think she was around like during like, is it Deadly Alliance and Deception and stuff? Yes. That was back in the day when Mortal Kombat they didn't really pay respect to women properly in how they are portrayed.
Can you pull up a picture of her right now?
I mean, is that what,
from the game? You can't find one where there's not tits hanging out.
Yeah, like that's what I'm, like. If you give me a second here, yeah, this is what we're talking about. There isn't really anything where she doesn't just look like your general, like your typical like very robust woman, sex symbol. Like it's just yeah, it's sad. There was a dark times, okay, back then, guys. But nonetheless, we get introduced to her, and they don't even hint to her in the movie that she's a vampire. She just looks like she's always longing for something. She's just always she's just like that the whole fucking time.
Isn't that how vampires always are?
I mean, I guess I don't know vampires personally, so I'm gonna have to take your word on that.
The few that I know are. Yeah.
But yeah, Cabal pretty much goes and tells Shang Tsung's like, look, if you need to stop, or if you need to get in and kill all the fighters, you just gotta talk to Kano. How do you talk to Kano? Gotta talk about that money, honey. You have some of that muns, son. That's all that matters to him. And yeah, very quickly, Cabal is just there, and he's talking to Kano on the other side. And like their conversation is legitimately just, yo, dude, why are you helping them? I don't know, cuz. Cool, do you want money? Yeah, okay. And it's like, what? This is the turning point? Like, this is where the movie, I'm like, this is the weakest point in the film right now. We're like,
but at the same time, like, Kano didn't really want to be part of these people. He was paid to go to Raiden's temple. He was kind of dragged into everything by Sonya. It wasn't really surprising to see him turn that quickly.
Yes,
he kind of hates everyone there.
Yes, but I think the problem I have with it is he starts to like, yeah, I'm a team member now because I have the Arcana, and like they're kind of like quickly shifted him that way, and then they shift back to him just being an asshole, like a bad guy asshole.
Well, it kind of sums up the asshole part because he got what he wanted out of them, and now he's telling them to go fuck their hats.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I guess it just felt way too like the convincing was way too simple, I guess, for me. But it does make sense. But I guess for me, I just again if the movie would have been 2 hours, they could have played more into like how they really like how even the people that he's helping don't like Kano, and Kano really just feels like, dude, like I'm still here, like I was willing to help you guys out, and like you really make me feel like shit. And then Cabal comes in and convinces them. I think that would have been a bit more interesting. But again, they don't have that kind of time. An hour and 38 minutes.
Would that really fit Kano's character, too?
I mean, him getting shit on? No, him getting shit on, getting pissed off, yes. Because remember, that's how they attacked him, right? To get him his Arcana, was attack his pride. So let's say, theoretically, if they would have continued to do so afterwards, he'd have been like, fuck all y'all. Like, what am I here? Cabal was right. I'm going to open up the door. You know what I mean? They could have a scene where...
It's not like they gave him respect before that either, though.
True. But like...
always just a punching bag or whatever.
Yeah. You're not wrong. I don't know. I guess I just wanted something else. I don't know. But nonetheless, Shang Tsung gets in there with his troops, and Goro gets sent out to fight Cole back at his house. And this is where like it's the classic bad guys are gonna start winning here, and you have Baby Arms getting crushed by Reiko's hammer. Like literally, his arms are falling apart because they're fucking robot baby hands. Okay, I'm sorry, that's just what happens there. All right, and at a moment I was like, oh, is this like? I was trying to think. I'm like, have I seen this guy before? And yes, this I have again. He is another character. All of these people are characters from the Mortal Kombat series. So good on them for introducing pretty much a lot of these guys. But then also, again, just having Cole Young as a random nobody that they've just created for the film, I think is a little weird. I think also it's the idea that Cole Young is supposed to be like our avatar, our representation of our character, of who we are, of like being introduced to all this madness. I think that's the idea of it. But I'm not a big fan of it, but it doesn't matter. The fight ensues. Cole ends up by convincing Goro to not kill his family, to go chase him into the barn, and they're gonna fight in there. And there's a moment where Goro literally has, if I'm not mistaken, Cole, and it's like, oh, is he gonna do the classic like fatality thing to like Cole. And just like
for it.
Right? But no, none of that. And like as Cole is being held by Goro for the first time, I'm like, Goro could just kill this man right now. There is nothing to stop that. Also in the original universe, wasn't Sub-Zero and Scorpion no, that's in the original Mortal universe, they were not brothers. They were just always mortal enemies. That's always been a thing. Because Hanzo was Japanese, Bihan was Chinese from two different warring clans that end up by finding peace. Blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. So that's what happened there, camp. But we're in this fight scene, and yeah, Baby Hands gets smashed. The Reiko character, literally is just a man that screams a lot. That's all he does, and hits Jax with a hammer. Melina kind of fucks up Sonya a little bit. Again, the Melina, I like how they kept. It was very subtle for Melina. Because at first, it's just she has kind of a bigger mouth with some teeth. And it's later down the road when she gets vicious, like the whole thing opens up, which explains the scar, like the scarring around her face. And that was a nice touch. I'm guessing she isn't the daughter of, at least right now, this is what it feels like. She's not the daughter of Shao Kahn. Because...
Makes you think that.
Well, I mean, you would think they would have called her Princess Melina. You would think like they would have amped her up a little bit more. Because if she is the daughter of Shao Kahn, right, like she would have had a much more impactful role, or her death would have mattered more. It almost feels like, but I know they did show a giant Shao Kahn statue, but it does almost kind of feel like Shao Kahn might not even be in the franchise, at least for now.
I think for now, yeah, that'll be a resurrection point or something later.
Something, right? Like right now, it is all about Shang Tsung and him with his plans. But yeah, we get the fight scenes. Sonya gets stabbed right in the fucking shoulder by that fucking Sai, and then she fights Kano briefly, who then almost tries to kill her by throwing off a cliff and having rocks fall on her and shit. Liu Kang fights Natara, who Natara is much like Shiva from Mortal Kombat Annihilation. She does absolutely nothing but get killed right away by a fatality, which was beautiful to see in the film. He throws his fucking hat to the ground. It's buzzsawing. He rides Natara like a goddamn surfboard, or like this was Surf Ninja circa 1990 whatever. And he's like fucking Rob Schneider, just fucking waves her into it. Which we should review that movie one day. Anyways, that's not the point. Fucking rides her to the floor and just literally. And again, I knew this was a rated R film. Wasn't expecting to see her get literally split in half. Okay.
Yeah.
And
fantastic.
What a scene! What a fucking sight! And of course, it ends with fucking Kung Lao saying, "I'm almost saying that's where he says, is it flawless victory or does he say fatality?"
I believe that one was flawless victory.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, okay.
She didn't even get a hit it. Nothing.
It's
funny how they hyped her up. They hyped her up
yes.
in Outworld.
Yeah.
Look at my young darling. She's such a perfect specimen. Well, she likes to fly and scream, but that's about all she can fucking do.
And don't forget the looks of longing. Yeah. That's all she could do.
Yes.
Like, yes. But my God, yeah, she gets destroyed right away. And Kung Lao's like, yeah, I'm the best, yeah. They're like, yeah, Lou, look what I did. It's awesome. They're like, yeah, way to go, Kung Lao. And it's, we cut away from them for a little bit. And then you actually concentrate more on the Goro Cole fight, which at this point, he gets buried underneath the thing. Doesn't work. He tells them to get the fuck away. They go to start running, but then the wife, unfortunately, I can't remember her name, so I'm just gonna call her wife because that's how big of a character she is. Who fucking knows? Yep. Grabs an axe and hits Goro right in the side with it. He gets pissed and he just goes towards the truck and just starts like, Hulk smash. I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers and I'm gonna use the axe too. And it's at this point where we realize, oh, Cole was never fighting for himself. He was fighting for wife and daughter. What are their names? Wife and daughter. Because just because Hanzo was a family man, I guess Cole's also a family man, which is nice, but you don't feel for these people, for these characters, because they're in the film for a total of like 5 minutes. Legit, maybe. I'm gonna be honest, they're maybe in the film for 10 minutes total. Yeah. You don't feel for when they're in trouble. You don't care if they die. You felt more for Hanzo and his wife and son, because at least you spend time with them a little bit. And Hanzo's like, "I love you. You're the best. Like, you're the greatest thing in my life. Whatever. Like, all those things. Like, my heart is yours, or whatever he says to her. Like, you felt something more for when those two died versus what's happening to them. But I'm like, okay, you know what?
That could be actors. That could be the actors' difference. You know,
yes.
The guy who played Hanzo is significantly better than the guy who played Cole.
Yeah, Cole's just like, oh no, my family.
Same deadpan reaction for everything that's going on. Yeah. I got my powers. Oh, cool.
So speaking of the powers, okay, here's what I thought was, because I believe I don't know if it's here or it might have been later, but I would have thought, right, this whole film they're hyping up the idea of like every time he looked in the mirror and when he was knocked silly, he saw Scorpion. He saw a picture of Scorpion. He saw Scorpion in his eyes. I'm like, okay, I think it would be kind of a cool thing if his Arcana wasn't that he got a special ability, but what ends up by happening is Scorpion takes over. Like literally, he gets possessed by Hanzo, and like literally, it could be a disgusting transformation where like blood, like his muscles get like all fucked up, or he gets embroidered in fire, and he's screaming, and then like out of the smoke, whatever, out walks Scorpion. I thought that's what they're gonna go with, right? And I think that would have been an awesome scene to have seen as Goro's like smashing the shit out of the car. Like, he transforms and freaks out. Goro's not really paying attention. He just wants to kill these people. And then off screen, you just see the kunai whooshing, and stabs Goro into the back or something. Or, like, into the hand that's about to finally smash the truck and kill them. And you would hear the, get over here. I think, in my mind, like, oh, that's going to be, like, you know what? If you do this, that's pretty fucking badass. I'm okay with that. No, what instead happens is his little strength bracelet gets all lit up, and then he gets covered in the wrappings that he had when he fought. And I'm like, what? And then he gets a billy club and a little side knife thing, and I'm like, no, at no point did they ever show that he was trained or efficient in these things. No. Fine, he gets mummified, and that's his ability? And then he has, like, the power armor from, like, fucking Black Panther, where it's vibranium, so every time he gets hit, it absorbs it, and then he can hit back or something? What?
Yeah.
He still gets hit. Sorry, yeah, what?
They could have done better with that. I still enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. It wasn't what I wanted. We wanted the Scorpion, at least something Scorpion related.
Right.
But I still thought it was pretty cool.
It was okay. That's all I could say. Because also apparently this amplified his strength, because he starts beating the shit out of Goro to the point where Goro gets like knocked to his knees. He loses a hand. And then this part again, super gory. He takes his knife thing and just stabs it through Goro's face. So it's like, just so you know, he's not coming back. Goro, the second dog in Mortal Kombat 1 in the film and in the game, he did.
The undefeatable warrior.
Yeah.
Got smashed by a guy who found his powers in 2 minutes.
Right. And then also
that was the most underwhelming part of this movie, is how quickly Goro got decimated.
Oh, dude, it continues for me. So Baby Arms Jax sees that Sonya has a rock on top of her, and he's like, "Let me use my baby hands. Let's see what I can do." Yeah, but really, it's not. It's more like where, because Baby wants his baba. Fucking little Baby Arms can't do nothing with this shit. But because he's trying to protect his ally or whatever, his fallen soldier, his now Baby Arms turn to steroid arms, and they just get like it just gets built out of nowhere. So. I don't know.
He's Cyborg.
Right? So I don't know
if he channeled some Cyborg and he just built his arms up.
Right?
That's where the DC crossover is going to come from.
So that's when we get our...
We'll get Mortal Kombat DC movie. I'm fucking in. Do it. Sold. Have Zack Snyder direct it.
Oh my God.
You just sold it for me.
Make it 6 hours long. It'll be great. Oh my God. But yeah, so his Arcana is metal arms. So it makes me think, did he have to lose his arms, his baby arms, to get the baby arms to then get the metal arms? Or would he have had the metal arms whether or not he lost his actual human arms?
Maybe they adapt to personal tragedy.
Yeah, sure. Why not? You know what? Yeah, I'll buy that. Like, Jax is such a non-character in this franchise right now. Like, so far, it's whatever. So he gets the Rock.
They looked good.
They look good. They look good
when they built up.
Yes, they look. Yeah, they're much better than little baby hands. Okay, yeah, I will not deny that. And it's also at this point where like a rock has fallen on Sonya. You think she'd be crippled or like blood somewhere? He takes the rock off her. She's like, "Thanks, Jax." I like nothing. There was no repercussion for that rock falling on her. Sure,
that's because there was a couple of other rocks right next to her that held the rock up, and she was just stuck uncomfortably probably for a bit. But.
She's like, I could try to wiggle out, but man, I just got these pants and I don't want to rip them. So yeah,
and I was having a wonderful nap under that rock.
Yeah, it was a nice. It's like a weighted blanket, and then Jax had to come by with his baby hands and rip it off. Again, so that's what happens, and then now Raiden is calling back Cole. Because I guess maybe Raiden knew somehow this is what Cole needed to get his wrapping around his body was just I don't know, fucking see his family get threatened. So he took a big risk there, sending Cole back to his family. Because what would happen if he didn't activate it fast enough and Goro did just smash the shit out of his family? Like that.
Well, if he had left him at the Raiden's temple, he would have just died in the first real fight he had anyway.
Right, yeah. So. Right. So no matter what, yeah,
sacrifice your people or his family.
Yeah,
just easier as family.
So it's at this point now where Raiden individually decides to start teleporting people back to like the in between world, whatever, and not all together, no, individually. And also Liu Kang was fighting Cabal here for a bit. It was kind of that fight was a little bit underwhelming. Like there wasn't anything special about it. But as people are getting teleported away, Kung Lao is about to get taken, and Shang Tsung's like, "Bitch, you're mine." He literally says, "Your soul will be mine," and grabs him and pulls him over. And I'm sitting here now, I'm like thinking, I thought that Shang Tsung had to have a defeated opponent to take their soul. Now he just opens up his mouth and goes, "Let me slurp that shit up, baby." But again, it looks visually amazing. It's super cool. I love the way that they portrayed it. And then like there's like that little final orb that's floating in the air that's slowly making his way to Kung Lao. And, Liu Kang just stares for a hot second. He says no. And it's like, Liu Kang, you could fireball. You could bicycle kick. You could do a lot of things right now instead of just watching Kung Lao get killed. You know what? No, let's just watch him. It's cool. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
That's the standard for Mortal Kombat movies. Yeah. You have to scream from a distance.
Never interfere.
But not actually fight.
Yeah. So this happens. And they get taken by Raiden, and also the hat somehow gets transported in as well, like magnetically gets pulled in. Fine.
It's got shield.
Yeah, right. So we get explained that they're in this in-between world, and that just means they didn't have the budget for another place, so they're just on a soundstage with some fog lights and stuff. That's all that's happening. And they're all super defeated until Cole says, "Guys, we can win." And that's the speech that they get to how they're going to defeat the fucking guys. And it's like, this is pathetic. If this is your amp up moment, you guys need to get a fucking refund, man. This is dead. This part, Tom, you got to admit, it's pretty garbage.
Yeah, it was a fight montage almost.
Yeah. It's just like it's basically like, how are we gonna win? Well, we're gonna match up people versus people, and it's gonna be fine. We're just gonna go where we think you can fight. Jax, you got big arms, you're gonna go fight Reiko.
In Outworld?
Yeah, right? Okay.
We're gonna bring them where we can fight. Let's go to a place we've never fucking been.
And there's there's a couple things I want to talk about that's very disappointing. It's also now Raiden apparently has the ability to transport people, and I mean anyone to wherever they want, including Outworld, including the enemies themselves. If this is the case, why did Raiden transport some of these fighters away before they're getting their ass kicked, or before fucking like Kung Lao died? They could have stopped this at any fucking point. And at the end of the movie, they even expressly show that he could do something else, which we will get to, which would have stopped this in a heartbeat. But fine. That's fine. You know what? It's okay. We get the little montage fight scene. We got Reiko versus Jax 2.0 on Spike Bridge. We get Melina versus Sonya. No, Melina, is it? No.
Melina and is it?
Is it Melina and Cole?
And Cabal.
Yes, yeah. So it's Liu Kang versus Cabal, Reiko versus Jax. It's gonna be Sonya versus Kano, and Cole is gonna go after. Was it? Yes, Cole was gonna go after Melina. That's what the plan is.
That was right.
Yeah. So now we see our fighters go send off and fight the individuals, and Jax's fight literally lasts about 10 seconds, 30 seconds at most. They are fighting also on the bridge that is an homage to the spike spike pit bridge in Mortal Kombat 1 to like all of them. It's always been there. And the fight literally does not last because it's just Reiko screaming, tries to hit him with a hammer. He breaks the hammer, beats him a couple times in the face, makes him fall to the ground. And I'm like, oh my god, are we going to get an uppercut fatality? Is this going to fucking happen? Because they're on the spike bridge, and that's how you win on that arena. You just a spike uppercut, and they fall down to the spikes. This is going to be fucking cool. No, it's just Jax jumping in there, and it still looks cool, but just jumps in there and like thunderclaps fucking Reiko's head and smushes into nothing. And I'm like,
I like how they put the stun animation almost for Reiko.
Yeah, because he's sitting there like
the hammer away. Yeah, and there, like he's ready for a fatality. That was a nice little homage.
Yes, it was nice, and like it's cool. And like, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that is a fatality for Jax, where like he smashes the guy's head. But I just wish it was the uppercut. They're on the spike pit map, just or like. I don't know, have a witch, like how they used to do, like have the witch fly across the moon or something, or just hear like, uh-oh, or toasty, something like, could you imagine this in the middle of this film? Just as he's falling down the spikes.
Scorpion's family gets freezed. Uh-oh.
And then when he burns Bihan at the end, toasty, it would have been so good. It would have been so good. But no, so Jax literally, boom, he's done. The fight, like I said, legitimately, I think the fight lasts a minute at most. But that's the fight. It's cool. We then get Kano versus Sonya, which is fighting on her home turf inside of that trailer because she has a bunch of booby traps and stuff. She's got to find a way to like fuck them over. It's kind of cool. And it's kind of this home invasion type idea with this one, right? Because again, Sonya doesn't have an Arcana. She doesn't have any special abilities. Kano's got laser eyes. How is she gonna fight? Well, we're gonna give her the biggest advantages possible. So it is this fun little, like, you know, fighting inside the house, trying to figure shit out. And then her way to stop Kano from having lasers, the laser eye, is throwing acid in his face. Is that what it is?
Well, it was like a glass bottle of some sort. I'm thinking it might be the same stuff from like Annihilation, the powder, and it got into his eye.
Yeah, so I'm playing back the clip real quick here. It's just a random item in a closet. It's really weird. Like as if she's like in next to the cleaning products. That's what she has there. But
it's a strategically placed bottle of fire powder.
But like I said, this fight is pretty fun because like there's bottle smashing and shit, and like smashing each other's heads and like on toilets and like whatever. It's a cool little scene. Like I do like it. Like this is a fun fight. But the moment I'm trying to see, because I see her. Oh, there it is. All right. It's when Kano thinks she's underneath the ground again because she's been running through like these little tunnels underneath to try to go ahead and like he's like, oh, if she's underneath there again, I'm gonna fucking words. I can't talk right now. I'm gonna laser beam her. I'm gonna fire my laser beam. You know, that's what's gonna happen. She gets caught. She catches him in the eye. He flips the fuck out, and it pretty much ends up by them getting thrown outside or something. The fight goes outside. And it's going to be what you think. Oh, yeah. I guess I should mention this, too. Earlier on in the film... acetone. Thank you. It's acetone. Thank you. Oh. Early on in the film, Kano makes this dumb remark about how he hates that gnome. He hates gnomes. He hates that garden gnome. He thinks it's stupid. The only reason they did that is so that it comes back here, where they're fighting outside... And now Kano actually has the advantage where he's choking out Sonya. And he's like, oh, did you ever think it would end up like this? Like, you thought you were going to lose like this way or whatever? And she just pulls off camera and then stabs Kano in his laser eye with the gnome. And that's how Kano dies.
I liked it.
It's funny. It's goofy. It's the way Kano should die, right? The way that he's been portrayed the whole film.
And it was the gnome that he like horked in its hand.
Yeah. It's like, I fucking hate that thing. The fucking cunt, I fucking know, I fucking hate it. And because of that, Sonya now has the dragon mark because she killed a person who had it. So she now is a champion of the whatever. We then cut to that fight between Cabal 2.0 and Liu Kang, where, you know, Cabal, the more I'm watching it right now, the actor must have struggled to move in that suit. It looks like it's pretty rough to move. And I think unfortunately that kind of translates in some of the movements where it's very like rugged and hard to like, it's stiff movements and slower.
That's probably why they used his like fast moving speed a lot in it. So you didn't see that. You just saw the blue blur and that got away from all the imperfection.
Yeah. Smartly done. It was very smartly done. But it's at this point where like Liu Kang does a bicycle kick and like sends him flying into I thought it was a pit of tar, and I think it still might be a pit of tar, like a tar pit or maybe a quicksand, but I'm gonna go with tar pit. And fucking Liu Kang does the thing you see in the trailer where he summons a fire dragon, and this motherfucking thing eats and burns Cabal alive. And it's an awesome looking shot. I love it. It's super super cheesy, super Mortal Kombat. It was expertly done. Cabal just burns to death.
And we got our fatality.
Yes, that I was trying to remember when the fatality was. It is right here, where Liu Kang goes fatality.
For Kung Lao.
Yeah. For Kung Lao. And now it's at this point while they were still fighting. Cole is kind of winning against Melina. Melina gets mad and opens up her. This is where you get to see like the full fucking Tarkatan mouth piece opening up. It's super gnarly. It's awesome. I fucking love it. And it looks like she's about to beat the shit out of Cole with this. She leaps into the air, and magically out of nowhere comes Sonya, who already somehow mastered her Arcana, which is those ring shooter things out of her forearms, and blasts a hole in Melina. And that's literally the end of it. Like that's
a fatality from the game too. You see the spine sticking out and everything.
Yeah.
But Kung Lao also earned his Arcana from killing that guy. He said he got the powers right after he did it. But that's where I think this one kind of ties in as well.
And I guess it is the idea of showing like she's been preparing for this, even if she wasn't going to be a champion no matter what. She's been preparing for this like for God knows how long. So I get it.
Ever since she was a kid, she's shooting.
Yeah, she's going pew pew pew. I'm gonna power fist.
Have a power.
You imagine like she's wrong though. Like it comes out of her legs. She's like, oh, never prepared for ring kicks. This is bad.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, after that fight's done, we get cut back to a wife and daughter getting ready to leave because they're afraid, which makes sense. They should have done this a long time ago, but they're leaving and they get met up with Bihan, who has like a horror movie scene where there's a shot of a door and wife going into something. There's no one there. She grabs the thing out of the kitchen or whatever it is. She comes back into frame where the door is, and now Bihan's there. It's very like classic Friday the 13th thing. It was cool. I liked it. It was a nice little spooky moment. But basically, you find out that Sub-Zero goes and kidnaps the kids and wants to kill. Excuse me. His like one mission to finally stop the Hanzo Hasashi bloodline, and he's finally going to do that by killing the daughter and wife and Cole. I sit here and I'm like, why didn't he just kill them at the beginning like he did with Hanzo? Like, you don't have to pretend that you have them when you have the bracelet. Just do the bracelet. He comes in here and the kids are dead. The kid and wife's dead. You don't have to whatever. It's a movie plot purposes. They stay alive. It's so Cole doesn't go to the dark side or something. I don't fucking know. We get this attempt of Cole trying to fight Bihan, and it's, he's doing okay. But then he remembers that at one point Raiden gave him the knife, the kunai from Scorpion, and it's like, this blood has the blood of Hasashi on it, and use it wisely or something. Use it for your people, whatever. I don't fucking remember what he says. But basically, that's the borderline of that. And then he remembers, oh wait, I have this. I should use it. And I don't know if it's by stabbing Sub-Zero with it, or he gets stabbed, or his blood. That's what it is. As he's holding the kunai by the blade, because he's trying to not get stabbed, it activates and Scorpion appears out of nowhere, and that's when you get the whole thing that I just talked about with the whole "get over here," because he stabs Sub-Zero right in the arm with it. You now get the fight that we've all wanted to see this whole time. The whole time. Which is fucking Bihan versus Hasashi, or Hanzo Hasashi, Scorpion versus Sub-Zero. And it is such a good fight scene compilation. They do this, a couple things that I wasn't the biggest fan of, where they were cutting in between Scorpion and Sub-Zero fighting and Cole punching his family out of the icicles that they're in. And
yeah, that confused me.
Yeah, I think I was supposed to I had two theories about it. And it was either that as Cole struggled, Scorpion was struggling. Like, I don't know if there's supposed to, like, there's an actual link between the two, or that they just need to, like, show that Cole was doing something. Like that.
Every time he went back to punch the fucking ice, there was more ice.
Yeah.
Like he'd already break off all the spikes. He'd go back and he'd do it again.
Yeah. It was very, yeah, it was very, very odd. But this doesn't matter. There's also this awesome fucking moment, and I absolutely love it. There's two moments that happen while Scorpion and Sub-Zero are fighting, where pretty much they get to really close quarter combat. Scorpion pretty much his back goes towards Bihan, and he grabs his little kunai, stabs Sub-Zero right in the side, and you can see like Sub-Zero go like, awesome, done. Oh, I fucking love that part. And then he like whips and throws Bihan towards his katana, which is stabbed into the ground, and he hits that like his back, and there's blood that sprays from it. Because it would make sense that the blade hits you like that, you're gonna get hurt. Like, it's gonna bounce and it's gonna hurt, and you're gonna get injured. And then to top it off, he uses his chain to like flip the katana in the air and rotate, like barrel roll it into his hand. I'm sitting there like, that was like, let's go, man. Like, let's fucking go. This is what I wanted to see, dude.
And this is where all of the funding for the movie was for both the start of the movie and the end of the movie.
And then there's this awesome line that Scorpion says, and it says, remember this face, because this is what Bihan told him, like, remember this face, this is the face of the person who'll kill you, or something like that. And it's just so fucking awesome, because that's what Bihan told him at the beginning when he stabbed him in the chest. Like, remember this face, this is the face of the man who killed your whole clan, or whatever the fuck he says. And it's just this awesome fucking moment, and I absolutely love it. And there's also the cool scene that you see in the trailer where the Scorpion and Sub-Zero are fighting. He makes an ice sword. As they continue to fight, he makes Scorpion bleed, and as he's doing that, as the blood splatters into the air, he turns that blood into another weapon and stabs him with it. Like, it's so nice.
So good.
And two moves happen here from Sub-Zero, or from Sub-Zero. He makes the ice wall that he does in the game, and he makes an ice clone. Like, so awesome. So, and okay, a call back to the beginning of the film, where Scorpion throws the kunai into the wall, into a tree, and then pulls it and slices Sub-Zero's face. Well, he does it again against the wall, and Sub-Zero taunts him by like bringing his face next to the chain. Like, do it, go ahead, you won't. And he pulls it, but Sub-Zero catches it. Oh my god, dude, it is so perfectly done. And then I guess this is and you also get the scene here where I guess this is just to show like that Scorpion and Cole are both fighting for their family or something. It's super. I fucking hate it. I absolutely hate this part of, like, you seeing Cole punch the body, like the icicles, and then Scorpion gets a flashback of what's happening and like what happened to his family, and now they decide to fight together. And I don't know if Cole actually speaks Japanese, but obviously Scorpion doesn't speak English. But he says, like, for the Shirai Ryu, and like Cole doesn't say anything. He doesn't acknowledge it. He just like, all right, we're gonna fight this dude. Yeah, sure. Let's double team. And it's a fun little moment, and it's cool because you get you get more of a classic look of Sub-Zero when he just strips his like armor off, and like it's more of like what you would expect him to look like from the game and stuff. It's nice. I really like that look. Again, a little muted for my taste. I feel like it should have been more blue, but it's not bad. It fits the tone of the film. But then he does this ice attack, this like ground ice thing that traps Scorpion in his place. And when Cole sees that, instead of being like, "Oh no, I'll help you," he just turns around and starts punching the icicle where his family is stuck in it.
Gotta get the fuck out.
It's like, do not turn your back on this deadly assassin, you idiot. Finish the fight. what is wrong with you? Whatever. Sub-Zero rushes towards him. They do a couple of punches, and then Cole stabs him right in the chest with that arm fucking baton thing. And, like, pretty much, like, this fight's been decided here. You've lost. Whether you like to admit it or not, it's done. Does a little leg flip thing, throws him in the middle of the ring, and that's when you get fucking Scorpion, like, do you want to see my fatality? Do you want to see what I'm capable of? And they have this awesome moment where he uses his fire to somehow, bring his Cole's family back to life somehow or something.
Oh, it melted the ice. I don't think they were quite dead.
But it's weird because they just do a close-up of his face, and it's like, whatever. But then it's this moment of, like, in the game where he would rip his face off and do the skeleton thing. Instead, he just takes his mask off, and just before he burns Bihan to death, he just simply says, for the Lin Kuei. Oh my god, dude, it's so fucking nicely done. You get
and right before that, he says, "You sent me to hell so that I would suffer, but I learned to use the flame or something."
Yes, that's I think it's coming up right here. He pulls him in because he like there's a nice little last double team move between for Scorpion and Cole. And as he's like on his knees behind, he's suffering. Scorpion just says, "Leave him to me," so he can get rid of his family. He pulls his mask off, and I believe that's where he goes, and he says, "You sent me to hell you had hoped that I would burn in the fires of hell. But instead I learned to control them." And I'm like, oh, that's but it's such a badass moment. I fucking love it. And he just starts spitting fire out and burning them. But as he's doing that, his face is like disintegrating and turning into a skeleton. Oh my god, like what an awesome moment. I loved it so much. It was so good. And then Bihan just
very excellent.
Yeah. It was a beautiful shot. Like, I love the degradation of the skin and how it's just the skull left like you would in the game. And then it just ends with, Bihan dying. And then Scorpion says, "You have freed my soul," or "You have freed me," and it disappears. I don't quite understand how that, whatever. Take care of the bloodline. You're cool. Let's go. So it's all right. That's a moment. It's we're happy we got there. He just disappears. So I don't know if it's meant to be like he eternally will rest now, or he's just gonna chill in another realm.
No, right. Now he's free to do what he will.
So like,
that's what I got.
Okay, well, it'll be interesting if they do that. Like, that'd be really cool.
Well, it's not like they're not gonna put him in another fucking.
No, of course not. Of course not. But the movie ends with, or getting close to the end of the movie here, where like pretty much all the fighters reappear. All the champions are like, "Yeah, way to go, Cole! You're super cool. I love your band. I love your armband suit thing. Cool, yeah." And then Shang Tsung shows up in the gym, and he just starts like, "Oh, you guys are gonna lose. I'm gonna get like death. It means nothing to my army, whatever. You will send your champions. I'll bring an army, and we will defeat you." And just starts talking forever. And then Raiden just teleports him away. And this is what I was talking about earlier. If he had the ability to just teleport Shang Tsung away, he could have done that to save Kung Lao. He could have done that such a long time ago. So many times over. Whatever. Yeah. Whatever. He's gone now, and you get the comedy line of, "He talks too much." Like, come on. Like, okay. Fine. Yeah. And then legitimately the movie ends there where Cole somehow all the ice is gone in the gym. There's no water to be found. No one's gonna ask questions where there's blood on the mat. It's just, who cares? It's fine. Cole is grabbing his shit out of his locker while his the gym owner's like, "Hey, we got a fight coming up. Do you want to fucking do it?" And then Cole's like, "No, I'm not doing it for $200 anymore. I'm out." He's like, "Oh, you're finally quitting, eh?" And he's like, "Yeah, something like that." And he's like, "Well, where are you headed?" "Hollywood." Like, "What's in Hollywood?" Hollywood. Then that's when they hint on, as a teaser for the sequel, a poster of it says like something whatever, and it concentrates on the belt, and it just says Cage. And that's how they end the fucking movie for Mortal Kombat 2021. That is the end.
Now to go to our Discord chat, we had Andrew bring up that The Miz would be good to sub in for Johnny Cage in the next movie.
A couple of things. It depends on how they want to play with that role, right? If they make him, if The Miz, actually does become Johnny Cage, it's either A, he's going to be an actual fake martial artist because the man can't fight. He doesn't have that kind of background. He's a wrestler.
Wow. Yeah.
And like, I just don't, I've never seen him move like that. B, he's going to have to get jacked. Like he's already in shape. Like, don't get me wrong. The Miz is already in shape. He's a good looking guy. Like, he's got a good body. But to fit the character of Johnny Cage, where like one of his biggest things is how he looks, is his appearance, he's gonna have to really tone up, I think. And
I think so too. But I think he would do a good job. To me, he is Johnny Cage of the WWE or of wrestling.
I could see that.
I could see him actually doing a good job. But they'd obviously have to do some things.
Yeah. Because Johnny Cage isn't a thin dude either, and neither is the Miz. Like and I don't mean like fat wise. Johnny Cage is just a wider fighter, and Miz does have that build. Like he does have a wider build, so that could work. That like there's potential. I don't know.
I think it'd be good.
He'd have to learn how to do some of the like the kicks and stuff, and like the nut punch stuff like that. But I think it could be. It could. There's potential. But I am worried. I'm optimistic, but worried. That's what I'm going to say it as. But yeah, that is the end for Mortal Kombat 2021. Tom, your final thoughts on the film?
I loved it. I really did. There's a lot of things. There's plot points, obviously, that are going to be dumb, but I thought it was very well done. It was an actual Mortal Kombat movie. Okay. It had the fucking gore that you expect. It had fatalities that you expect. I loved it. I loved it.
Okay, now we're gonna have two different rankings here. On the scale of 1 to 10, what would you rank this film?
I would say a 7.
7? Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, 3 rankings, I guess. So for the buy a renter pass, would you say this is what?
If going back to my Mortal Kombat 95 review, if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, buy this movie.
Okay.
It is a good Mortal Kombat movie.
But if you're just a moviegoer, just rent it?
Rent it, yeah.
Okay. And finally, if you had to quickly rank all 3 Mortal Kombat films, 1, Annihilation, and this, how would you set them up? I put you on the
tough one.
Yeah, I put you on the spot on this one.
I would still say this one would be number 1, then 95, and then Annihilation.
Okay. All right. Okay.
What about you?
Well, so I would say that this is like a 6 out of 10 for me. I think the CGI was great. There was potential, but Cole Young as the main protagonist really didn't do it for me. I felt like there's certain things that were rushed that didn't need to be. I don't know. They started so strong at the beginning of the film, and they ended so strong. True. But there's just some of the middle stuff for me to just I would say this is a rent, no matter what. I wouldn't buy this. I think I would just rent it. And finally, to rank them, I would still go 95, Annihilation, this.
Whoa!
No!
Annihilation before this?
No! Fuck no!
What the fuck?
Are you kidding me? No way! No, it would. In all honesty, it would be 95. This and Annihilation doesn't even exist. Like that. No, that just bury it. Just bury it.
We don't need tentacle monster.
Anti-throw. Yeah.
Kaiju something or other.
Yeah. But with that. That has been our review for SNATM of Mortal Kombat 2021. There was no ad read on this one because I couldn't have done that to you guys, especially when everything shut down. It's gonna be fun trying to piece this together. But for now, thank you for joining us. Don't forget,
buy merch. It feels good.
Fuck it, yeah. We got Tom repping that parody shirt. If people don't even understand what it is anymore, it's from InfoWars. It's a parody shirt of that. So go ahead and buy that. You can go ahead and hit ! merch or just support us at Patreon. Patreon.com/SelectStarNetwork. At any level, it is greatly appreciated. Or share, like, whatever. You do you, BB. We love you for it. Thanks for joining. We still haven't discussed what film franchise we're going to review next. There has been a couple of suggestions. We may just do a one-off coming up. I don't know, but stay tuned. Something I got to talk over with Tom. But for now, guys, thanks for joining, and we will catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.